they're different from what's provided in the infrastructure performance management solution that I just outlined. So first, sorry, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself here. Let me just catch up. vCenter server. This really is effectively the window into your virtualized data center, and you need it to get your job done. That's the tool that will allow you to do all the virtual machine management and server management and storage provisioning tasks to the virtual machines and all the other day-to-day stuff that you need to do and be able to control to maintain that environment. It's also a great extensible platform. VMware has made it really accessible to VMware partners like ourselves to plug into, and that's exactly what Akorri has done with BalancePoint. So BalancePoint is actually a tab right within vCenter server, and I'll show you a picture of that later. But you can, you don't have to have multiple applications open. It's really very complementary to vCenter server. But vCenter server is great, and it's what you need if you want to take advantage of the underlying value of the hypervisor. vCenter Capacity IQ, as the name suggests, performs capacity planning on virtual infrastructures, applying continuous what-if analysis to figure out the best arrangements for virtual machines in different scenarios. It offers reporting and recommendations, and it's made up of two components, a vCenter plugin and a virtual appliance that collects data about the virtual infrastructure in a dedicated database. So how is this different from capacity planning done in the infrastructure performance management solution? Well, first of all, it doesn't include I/O workloads as part of its analysis into bottlenecks and optimization. It only looks at CPU and memory, and it doesn't look at the physical servers. So it can help you with the easy low-hanging fruit, such as idle VMs, but doesn't do a great job of assisting in optimizing virtual machine layout or density because it lacks that I/O workload information. It also doesn't correlate with any other elements in the infrastructure, like storage, for example. And Akorri really feels that true optimization is based on both utilization and performance. And finally, vCenter AppSpeed is actually an application performance management solution versus an infrastructure performance management solution. So it's really intended for use by the application teams, and it's also a virtual-only solution. In other words, it really does not have any ability to monitor applications that span a virtual and a physical infrastructure. So we're really talking about apples and oranges here. Again, it has its use, it just doesn't do what infrastructure performance management does. So hopefully now that we've established that you need an infrastructure performance management solution and it's different from what VMware offers with vCenter, I'd like to share with you some details about Akorri's solution, BalancePoint. So as you can see, BalancePoint interoperates with all the major operating systems and storage solution providers or vendors. It's agentless, which makes it real easy to install and upgrade. And unlike traditional system and element management tools that only look at one silo, either the physical or the virtual, BalancePoint looks at both. It's deployed on a virtual appliance, and it's the only solution in the market today that dynamically models and analyzes that entire infrastructure. And at the end of the day, it gives you end-to-end visibility that enables you to balance performance, efficiency, and cost throughout your data center. So one of the key differentiators is really the cross-domain analytics. A lot of the other virtualization management solutions out there today pull their statistics from vCenter. So they're regurgitating vCenter stats, putting them in prettier graphs. BalancePoint creates, because of all the different, data and statistics, it collects from both the virtual servers, the physical servers, and the storage. It takes these and produces unique analytics, what we like to call data center level metrics, that enable IT operations teams to better communicate and collaborate as a team. So as I mentioned, it plugs right into vCenter Server, so it's another tab, real easy to launch and view the whole infrastructure, since you're in vCenter a lot during the day anyway. So what does it do? Well, there's 4 main values that BalancePoint provides. The first is troubleshooting, trying to identify bottlenecks and contention across the environment that element management tools wouldn't be able to detect. I'll talk later a couple of case studies where our customers found that when they were looking at their element management tools, there was, they couldn't identify a problem, but they knew there was a problem based on feedback, and BalancePoint was able to identify it. It also helps you measure and baseline an application's system performance. In terms of optimization, one of the things that it does is help you determine the optimal size of a VM for each application, avoiding over or under allocating resources. On the capacity planning front, it can show you resource hogs per VM at any point in time. It can help you reclaim unused resources. It can help you load balance clusters and resource pools. And finally, from a managing service levels perspective, it can help you predict, alert, and report on performance and capacity as a whole, and prove your service level adherence to the business. So I'm going to talk about each of these values, and I'm going to start with troubleshooting performance. To really effectively troubleshoot in a virtualized environment, as I mentioned before, Akorri believes that cross-domain visibility and analysis is required. Again, I've mentioned it before, and I'll say it again. It's that cross-domain view of all of the elements in the infrastructure. How is the storage mapped back to those virtual servers? That's a missing piece that a lot of organizations have right now. So BalancePoint provides a color-coded map, red, yellow, and green, real easy to interpret, but this is not, an availability tool. It's not going to tell you, it will tell you if things are up or down. However, it doesn't mean red is dead necessarily, because these are logical mappings, and it's going to proactively tell you the health of your whole underlying infrastructure. So you can see in the little screenshot, you can drill down, change the view, rotate on different elements, and drill down for the further analysis.